everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as they match up with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Titans offense heading out, and it's probably an important season for the man under center, Marcus Mariota. This will be year number 5 since he was drafted 2nd overall. And thus far, in terms of postseason success, just one wild card victory under his belt. Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota flushed out right. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play on the catch and run covering 34 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Watch this 80 weapon, 80 weapon. Go, go, go.
Now Mariota. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
I got you. He's checking crack.
From the red zone now, Mariota. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing, Mariota. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And the Titans are in for 6. Touchdown. Solid finish to a solid opening drive, and that's the threat that he represents. He can take off and score on you.
What he makes it is 11-on-11 football, because a lot of the times the quarterback isn't much of a runner, so you don't have to account for him. Well, you do with him, and now he actually gets a lead blocker instead, and he's able to cash that one in.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. A gain there of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
In the center for Pittsburgh, Marquise Pouncey, one of the most physical and agile players at his position in the league. A 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's the keystone of one of the top offensive lines in the league.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
Ready? 180. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Roethlisberger. Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
A 1st down carry for Henry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. These offensive starters still out there in the 2nd quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the 3rd quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the 3rd quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the 4th quarter.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And Walker with it over the middle. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. A Titan 1st down, Mariota to Walker.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Here's Mariota. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Corey Davis, 36 yards. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point put through by Succop, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Bryant with a catch right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. This is intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Marcus Mariota and the Titans about to go on offense. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Tannehill. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's the AFC Pro Bowl punter the last 2 years. That's Brett Kern to kick it for Tennessee. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 51 yards. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Harold Landry, his 2nd sack of the night. Here's Roethlisberger to throw.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Here's Tannehill. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Bud Dupree coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. To try again after the sack, Tannehill, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 12 yards there and a first down. Roethlisberger now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Harold Landry in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
That's to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good. But there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Ready 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Now Roethlisberger. This one complete. Right side to McDonald. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't ready.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Barry on the punt as he gets this one away. Here's Jackson. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A gain of 3, second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Hey, Delta. Go. 26 Mike. It's just me and you.
Yeah. On 2nd and 7, Tannehill. Pass caught by A.J. Brown, and that's his first NFL catch. 27 yards there, a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. And it'll be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in.
Blitz coming and down he goes. Cameron Wake with a little wake-up call as he gets in there for the sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Samuels. 73 yards. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
This fielded at the 2. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Back now in Nashville, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, It's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful. And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Titans. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes. It's time for the games to count.
The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Watch 98. 6-6. Pull it high. I'm coming after you. Smooth. Ready to go. Deep rip.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tannehill. There goes a deep ball. This is going to be caught by Sharp for a Tennessee touchdown. Tajay Sharp, 33 yards. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Titans. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Our eyes shift now to the Tennessee defense here. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers, the offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Rudolph looking to throw it. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And he's got some space here. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
From the red zone now, Rudolph under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Rashad Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Ready.
Back to throw, Rudolph. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
The coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, that That's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the fourth. That personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
12 yards there and a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They were looking Jennings' way again, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use time?
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Down. 30 base. First down. Check. Check 50. Check 50. Now.
They'll go with Snell here on first down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now on 2nd and 13, Rudolph. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Complete to James Washington. Touchdown.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. That time a 6-play drive. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Titans are going to recover the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. On the handoff, Lewis. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready? 18 Gator. That's what I do.
On 3rd down, it's Lewis. That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now they'll run with Lewis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They just go up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
On the double. Watch 98. 98's the mic. I'm on.
Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win,